What's up, Netrunners? We're back. Your champion, SMC champion, Gordie Murphy. Gordie,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm sitting here still kind of awestruck that the whole thing, all of this.
Me too.
Now let's recap for the fans. You've had loyal fans watching all day. So nobody beats Hollis and Swiss. Gordie does something about that, beats him twice, hands him his only losses of the day in succession. Then fights his way through the losers bracket, takes 2 games in very convincing fashion. Kronos Project doing work.
Yeah.
Sniffing out the naked Astro install, doing work. Talk me through what's going through your mind right now.
In the last 2 games?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I did not expect to be here. I think I was the third alternate for the day, and we had a group of people not show up, so I might not have even been able to play.
Dark horse candidate. Doesn't matter.
I'd played Randall once, and it was a close game. I think we were both at 6. He pulled the winning agenda just off a single R&D access through like a 3 ice deep server
on that first HB game.
So second one, I was sitting on Kronos trying to figure out when to score it. I saw a lot of econ in the trash and figured I can probably keep him poor for the rest of the game if I just go. I think all the Liberateds were in there, Katie and
so huge,
a bunch of stuff. So I just went for that and
because you will hear when you watch this back, Ahmed and I are freaking out of, okay, when is he going to use the Kronos project? All right, we can't waste this opportunity. This is juicy. This is right for the picking.
You always, especially with Max, like you're just dumping cards in there, so you always just like a few more cards. It's going to be better.
Get that one more Katie. It's going to be there.
Yeah, but you got to do it.
Yeah. So talk me through. I mean, that game, you got to the point after the Kronos project. I'm sure your mindset has got to be, how do I just navigate this game and not lose? I mean, that's a huge tempo play. You've knocked a lot of Max's econ out. What's going through your mind once you landed the Kronos project of how you thought you were going to close out that game?
I was trying to just take stock of the tools I thought he had available. R&D was probably the biggest liability, so I just made sure to set that up. There was an Ash on there. It didn't come into play, but and just, stay ahead on money. That's the biggest thing. And I think I was just trying to take my time because, especially with that deck, I've noticed you can, like, once your campaign runs out, you can just blow through the money that you have, and then you're broke, and you can't defend your remote or anything, and Ash is useless. So it was really just sit back and try to draw a little bit aggressively to find agendas I could actually score, because I've been in the position where, like, 7 turns go by, Sansan's up, and you just don't see any useful agendas.
One of the plays that Ahmed and I were commenting on earlier, you were very flooded in that game early on, and you had the double Jackson trash, but then when Architect fired and it brought the Jackson back, both of us were just saying, that was a huge difference in the game. It just cleaned up your hand and really got you back on track.
He was face-checking pretty hard, and so I figured, like, either when the first Jackson came out, like, either I get to overdraw and ditch the agendas, or he'll probably hit an Architect, and I think I can bring it back. And fortunately, it happened.
Yeah, that is awesome. It was one of those just plays, defining plays, where you just say, okay, Jackson doing what he does, fixing every broken situation you could possibly imagine.
Card.
He is an okay card.
Yeah.
So now let's go. You close out that first game. You're able to train off of that Sansan, close out that first game. Talk me through. You're standing. You need one more game to close this out. You've clearly navigated that NEH matchup very well. Talk me through what's going through your mind of what you're looking for in an opening hand. What are you looking for to get the game sealed?
I had actually forgotten that there was a second game. I had to look at Corey, and I was like,
high fives all around, guys.
Game.
We got it.
Just because I don't know, it's late.
God, Corey, why you got to make us play all these games?
My favorite was when you get switched up. It's like a soccer match. You have to switch. Yeah. I'd played Hollis's NEH twice before that. I'd played Randall yesterday for the qualifier, so I knew a little bit what to expect. So, money and R&D multi-access. Like I figured as long as I can just get like an R&D interface and makers, it'll be okay.
And one of the things that was so huge about that, we teed some of this up, the fact that you'd played him previously and you know you're not dealing with Scorch, that is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be as aggressive as you wanted at that point.
Yeah,
and you were. You clearly were.
Yeah, and I think like at the end of that first turn, I just had an extra click and nothing amazing to do with it, so I decided I'm just going to look at it. Maybe I can just get a Sansan off the table.
Yeah.
It was the Astro. From there, I figured he's probably flooded.
Yeah.
And then
the follow-up legwork was big too, because certainly we can see everything armchair quarterbacking it, but it was one of those where when I saw it in your hand, it's just like, okay, does he go for the kill right now? You did. You got paid off, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
And I started like early in that game. I think I had legwork makers, maybe a second maker.
Two makers.
Yeah, so like I had all the tools. It's just making sure you can get in.
Yeah. Now, one of the plays that we were looking up a little bit, talking about something else. When Randall snuck out the Astro script in that protected remote, the second one that he actually scored, what was going through your mind when he installed that? I mean, at that point, you were clearly you were way far ahead. You were doing great work on R&D. Was it something where you thought that it was just an asset or a Sansan? What was going through your mind when you saw him lay that card down and protect it?
I figure, I don't know, it could have been an asset. I had seen a lot of the cards.
Yeah.
And so I figured like maybe it's an agenda. If it is, maybe there's a second one, but I just didn't think it was worth spending money on, because I knew most of the cards and figured I'm just going to keep hitting R&D. And
at that point,
I think I needed
with the maker's grip, it's kind of tough.
I think I needed like 2 more points, and it's bound to be an R&D somewhere. It has to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then obviously from there, I mean, it was just maker's eye after maker's eye. And at one point, I mean, both of us Ahmed and I were just saying, at some point, the agenda's just got to be there.
I mean, you got that lead, you just got to hit once.
Yeah.
So you just buy your time, which you did well. Like, you didn't try to rush R&D, click through Eli, which was smart. You took your time, got the lady, then makers.
The stim hack was helpful.
That was a good play.
Yes,
get out
very
the stim
good
hack,
play.
trash the Sansan, and put out lady. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Good
So talk me through. You picked these decks. You've clearly navigated through a very difficult field today. Thoughts on your decks? Anything you'd change? Anything you'd do different? Anything you'd say to our viewers who were thinking of, hey, we've got other qualifiers all around the country, all around the world. If you're trying to sleeve up something to win at the next qualifiers or the next championship around the country, what are your thoughts on your Kate and HP decks?
Ultimately, I was going for versatility more than anything else, because I think more than being able to do one thing really well, if you can adapt.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure exactly what to expect today, and I know I agonized over it for a long time, just trying to figure out like what the meta is going to be like and what we're going to see, and I eventually just went like, I'm just going to go middle of the road. Like Kate does everything, HB does everything. They're both good decks.
Let them do what they do.
Yeah, I think I made one card change from yesterday, which was to add a second touring.
Interesting.
To HB, just because noise is around and
it did
Faust
well.
is around, and
we saw it on stream earlier.
Yeah,
certainly.
it's a good piece of ice.
Excellent. I think those decks, I mean, you clearly piloted them well, navigated through what I played a lot of these tournaments. That was one of the more difficult fields that I've had to play against. Ahmed, I'm sure you felt the same way. Yeah. So that is no small feat to be able to be our champion today.
Thank you.
So with that, I know we got a little bit more than a handshake to give you, which is to say we've got a big fat trophy. We got a check.
There's a robot.
We got a deck box. We got it all. We've got it all. So we are going to sub Corey in. Corey Hockman, our man, one of the organizers of SMC, one of the brainchildren who brought us this great tournament format. So we are loading up the swag as we speak. Give us a second to load this in. But, guys, you've seen it all tournament, the build-up to this. Just, phenomenal prize support, phenomenal tournament structure. Thank you all so much for all the people who aren't even here now, who participated, who have made this possible to get this kind of amazing prize support. Corey, I'll turn it over to you for our presentation.
Hey. How's it going? So, hell yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate it.
You came in here just not expecting to do much, and here you are.
I was not expecting to play today, actually.
So amazing. So we got some stickers, the Wormwood deck box that was graciously donated by those great guys.
That's really nice.
And this little guy over here, absolutely, like, congratulations.
This is fantastic trophy
wow.
design, whoever did that.
Huge props to the guys at Impudent Mortal. Walt came through big time and helped do the design and creation. And then John Galvin, one of the employees at Giga, painted this for us. And it just turned out phenomenal. So this, sir, is yours to keep.
Thank you. That's a super cool trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, you put up the video, and yeah, this is
Mhm.
fantastic design. This is a beautiful trophy.
Yes, sir. And you were the one who's taking it home.
Yeah.
So again, congratulations. You were the first SMC champion. So
Unbelievable.
again,
Thank you.
amazing.
Appreciate it. And thank you for putting everything
Yeah.
together and
Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
being here for like 12 straight hours organizing.
Yeah, huge shout out again, like, to Ben for
Yeah.
the stream and everything, to Giga for being like amazing hosts and letting us come in and take over like a huge part of their store, and massive thank you to Jeff, who helped run almost all these events this weekend. He did an amazing job, ran a very tight ship, and he was just huge help. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
A lot of people to make something like this come together, and thank you, viewers, so much. Part of what makes it worthwhile, Corey, just brainchild of an amazing tournament structure that has gone global at this point. I mean, it's amazing to see what a bunch of people who get together every week to play Netrunner. Amazing to see what this has become. That we were putting together a broadcast that goes out to the world, a community of Netrunner players. That hopefully you guys have enjoyed yourselves, seen some amazing matches, seen a great tournament. But thank you so much for being one of those people who just steps up and does something that's never been done before.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's still just the thing. Like, this is like an idea that we came up with a while ago, and where it's ended up in less than a year's time. I mean, it's nuts.
Absolutely.
Great idea.
Hopefully this is the first of many, and this is, you look at this trophy, we would love for this tournament structure to grow even bigger, even better prize support, even bigger tournament. I mean, just everything. We hope that this is the first step on the journey. ANR Pro Circuit, like I said, we're trying to take it worldwide, so certainly appreciate all the support of so many of you in the community around the country who have taken upon yourselves to organize your own tournament series, to really make this something that I think, looking at this trophy, looking at the title, looking at our champion, I mean, this is something that is a big deal, and it wouldn't be a big deal without the support of the community, and you guys have been truly amazing in making it a big deal that we all feel motivated enough to create something like this, to support this, to spend a weekend putting something like this together. So thank you all so much for being fans of the game, loving it as much as we do, and putting your time and energy into this. So